Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. This is And I Quote, the weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is indie writer extraordinaire Patricia Gilliam is here. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Oh, we're fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you. How are you?
Thank you. Doing great.
There's another reference for you. But thank you for being here. And also thank you for being here, maybe watching or listening to this right now. Do not forget to like and share this with your friends if you're watching us live or on the replay. Thank you for doing that. If you have any questions for our guest of honor, let her know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. And we're happy to take those as they come in respectively. With that taken care of, Patricia, what would you say were some of your favorite books or writers when you were a youngin'?
Liked a lot of Ray Bradbury, and I'm trying to think. Read a lot of like R.L. Stine, like Goosebumps books when I was like in middle school. When I got into high school, a lot of John Grisham, a lot of thriller authors.
Ooh, man, I remember watching the Goosebumps television series. That was some creepy stuff on Fox Kids back in the day. It was filmed in Canada, believe it or not, but it was aired on American television. But then again, a lot of Canadian shows get sent over to U.S. television airwaves. I mean, look at all the shows that are a lot of our favorite television series have been filmed in Canada. Whether it was Suits, whether it's CW shows, the Warner Brothers show, all that jazz.
There was, I think it was like a Stargate meme talking about a lot of alien planets look like Canada.
That, yeah, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. That's a valid point. Lots of Stargates out there. Goodness heavens almighty. What would you say were some of your favorite movies, past or present?
Ooh, Jurassic Park was one, and let's see, as a kid, probably my favorite was Princess Bride. I could watch that movie over and over again. A lot of sci-fi, a lot of television shows. Back when Sci-Fi Channel first started, they had a long run of the original Twilight Zone series, and I just loved watching them. And I think that was really fun and kind of influenced a lot.
All right. You're about to enter another dimension. Rod Sterling. That's a creative storyteller right there. Goodness gracious. Whew. That's one thing, but I remember watching reruns of Tales from the Crypt, and that was some creepy
those
stuff.
were good too.
Yeah, they were good, but they were they gave us nightmares if you're 7, 8 years old watching this in the middle of the night when you shouldn't be watching it. I shouldn't have done it, but we're kids. We break
Always
rules all
way
the
too
time.
young, but it's like the sneaking and watching it.
Yeah, we managed to sneak some stuff in there, especially during late night television programming. We shouldn't be doing that, but we do it anyway. So, just keep it on the keep it on the down low, as one might say. Yeah. What made you decide to become a writer?
As a kid, just reading a lot of books and just kind of deciding it's like, well, how does all of this work? Spent a lot of time at the library as a kid, and started meeting authors in college and talking with them and just getting an idea of how things actually work. And started off with doing short stories and just gradually worked my way up into doing longer and longer projects.
Okay, start from the bottom of that ladder and just climb your way to the top. That's the best way to do it. What would you say are some of the rewards about being a writer?
I think it's fun, and just the fact of being able to use your creativity and just how it can expand out into so many other areas. I started off just writing for free and getting feedback from people. This was back when you didn't have to worry as much about piracy and things like that. And people just enjoyed the stories and having that interaction with readers. And people basically just saying, "Hey, if you do something larger with this, we'll buy it." And it's like, okay, how does this work? And that's what got me into indie publishing.
Excellent, excellent. Learn from the best, as they say. Flip side of the coin, though, what would you say are some of the challenges about being a writer?
Staying focused, the getting distracted by different things, internet, just these projects are usually so large. Usually something novel length may take like a year, and so having to keep your focus on everything.
Yeah, social media dooms. Well,
Mhm.
not to get into too deep into the weeds here, but doing this,
Mhm.
not to scrolling, doom scrolling, as some people have
Yep.
coined it on social media. Stop it. No.
Mhm.
Let's hope not Dr. Von Doom doesn't come after us. I heard he's supposed to make an appearance here on Earth in the next 2 years in a little indie film called Avengers: Secret Wars, Doomsday, I think it's called.
It sounds familiar.
I know.
So, yeah.
Cinematically, it's been around for almost 20 years, which is insane to think
Mhm.
about, by the way. It's a couple more years
Mhm.
to be turning the big 2-0, which is insane.
Mhm.
And RDJ is apparently playing Doom, even though they could have hired anybody to play the role, but they went
Mhm.
with RDJ. That's called desperation. At least in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe he'll prove us wrong. I don't know. Just saying.
There's a lot of theories out there, just the whole multiverse
He's an alternate
thing of,
universe,
yeah. Mhm.
version of Doom, yeah.
Mhm.
Or maybe Tony Stark had a bad day and he turns into the Joker. It's because the character, the Punisher, looks at Daredevil in the television series, the Netflix series now on Disney Plus, because they got it back. He says, "You're one bad day away from being me." So
Mhm.
there's some, good storytelling in that universe. There
Yeah.
is not all the time, but there's definitely been some highlights. Let's just put it to you that
Yeah,
way.
I liked it. We watched through the Disney one recently, and it's like, okay, he didn't do a whole lot of daredeviling, but it was still decently written.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've been told. And I know there's going to be another season of Born Again coming up soon, so
Mhm.
for Daredevil. So see how that shapes up. What advice would you give to aspiring writers out there?
Take your time and just kind of get in a lot of practice. It takes a while to kind of find your voice. You'll start off with people that kind of influence you, and you'll kind of have just kind of traits of that, and then just over time, the more that you do, the more it becomes yours.
There you
Um,
go.
the
Mhm.
the main thing is just staying consistent with it. I think developing the habit of it, uh, trying to write as often as you can when you can.
Yeah, I agree. That's for some. It's easier said than done because when you work, you have a full-time job. You got a few other commitments going on. It's hard to
Mhm.
sit down and actually get some word slinging, as
Mhm.
Bobby Nash would like to say, getting done. He loves using that word slinging.
Word slinging, I like
He
that.
really he does. He does. He posts it all the time on his social media. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but he posts like, "Oh, it was a great day in the writing office. I got a lot of words slinging done." I'm like, "Can we all be like that? I mean,
Mhm.
you're putting us to shame, brother." Like,
Him and I don't know if you're familiar with Rick Partlow.
oh,
He gets a lot done. I think he's like on book like 85 or something like that, and and
Jesus.
he can get like 10,000 words done in a day, just from building up to that point.
I would be amazed if I could put that
Mhm.
if I could piece that together like he does. But
Mhm.
it's
I, I
yeah.
just do things in spurts where I can get a scene done, I can get a chapter done fairly quickly, but there's almost has to be like a rest gap in there before I kind of go back to it.
Mhm. Definitely pace yourself, folks. Pace yourself. That's one of the keys to success. Is consistency is the key, but also pacing yourself to a certain extent. Isn't that right?
Mhm.
I would venture to say so. For those of you just tuning in, welcome. This is And I Quote with our guest of honor, Patricia Gilliam is here with us. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. And if you're watching us live or on the replay, thank you so much for doing that. So I do want to share something with you and with you who may be watching and listening to this right now. So this is an example of some of the wonderful things you've written, but just kind of going around the horn here just for a little bit. What goes around? How did that come about, and what is it exactly?
What goes around is it's actually it's kind of funny because it's a time travel story where the novelization is actually out before what the novelization is based on.
Wow.
Back during the pandemic, I was contacted by Jerry Cornell about doing an 8 episode audio drama that was superhero themed. And so we collaborated on the overall story, and I got the 8 episodes finished out. I think it was late 2022, and just because of logistics and the pandemic and everything, the audio side of it, they've had that in development for a little while. We're going to be running a Kickstarter on it soon, and we've got attached to it Michael Yurchik from Naruto Shippuden, and John Morris, who voiced Andy in the Toy Story movies, and they're running it by a few other people that I can't mention yet, but this is going to be a very fun project. And the novelization is a little bit different from the scripts in that I've got extras in there, almost like correspondence between different characters and a lot of Easter eggs. So it's a different experience um, with the audio than it's going to be with the book, and but they're the continuity is there across both.
Hmm. Fantastic, man. The fact that you got Andy all grown up to be
Mhm.
be
And
a part
he's
of this.
awesome. He is very he teaches voiceover, and does a lot of projects for charity, and I think it's just really awesome.
Oh, that is man. Andy's all grown up. Goodness gracious. I mean, we remember him when he was just yay high. Now all of a sudden he's granted, when
And
you take so
30
much time between
years.
sequels of making these movies, you tend to grow up
Yeah.
after a while, don't you think?
Hmm. Yeah, 30 years of Toy Story. It's like the 30th anniversary this year.
It
It's hard to
is.
believe.
It
I
is.
love it.
Yeah, it is. I believe is it next month, guys? I think next month we're doing a 30th anniversary watch along of that movie.
Hmm.
Deservedly so. It's one of the greatest of all time. I mean, Toy Story put Pixar on the map. So, my gosh, man, I remember. I'm trying to think. Did we see that in theaters, or did I have to wait on VHS to see that? I'm trying to think of what happened 30 years ago. It was so long ago. We
Hmm.
may have seen it in theaters. I think we did. I can't remember. But either way, it was a great experience. Whether it was a home viewing or a theater viewing, doesn't matter.
And just the technology at that point, it was just at the time it was the state of the art CGI
Hmm.
with everything, and there hadn't been anything quite like that before.
Yeah, yeah, revolutionary for its time. There's no doubt about it, right? So, very, very, very good stuff. So, yeah, well, congrats on what goes around. That's fantastic stuff. I mean, who doesn't like a good story about a group of superheroes or time travel? Honestly, it's a very popular genre. Do not get me wrong. One of the other ones that stood out to me here was a superhero's duty. Where did that come from?
Um, it basically started off as a short story for an anthology, and I branched it out. Basically, hero and a villain are fighting. Hero accidentally dies, and the villain feels terrible about it. So he's trying to fix things, but he's not very good at it. So he basically takes this guy's place and his identity, and just kind of the aftermath of all of that, and people figuring out that it's not the same guy.
Hmm. Okay. All right. A little bit of deception being thrown in there. Okay. Hmm. That sounds interesting. I mean, seriously. And by the way, whoever does these covers for you or the people you work with are fantastic. By the way.
Mm-hmm. And that's multiple people. J. Caleb Clark did a
Hmm.
superhero's duty and what goes around.
Hmm.
My husband Cory did Out of the Grave.
Oh.
Steve Boyer
Hmm.
did Thaw, and then the other ones I'm not quite sure off the top of my head.
Oh.
Those are the but great cover artists. So you have the whole saying about don't judge a book by its cover, but it's like all the cover artists, it's like they do such a fantastic job. And there have been studies where that's like, I think it's a good 50% of the initial people choosing a book is due to the cover.
That's a fair point. Fair point. Very true. What out of the gray? What's that all about?
That was the first book I ever wrote. It was about 23, 24. And it had started as short stories, and built that up enough to where I could do something that was novel length with the same characters.
Hmm.
The premise with it is it's two kids that are teenagers. They're trying to save an alien ambassador from being assassinated because if he's killed, it's trigger a war.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. All right. Mysterious. Ooh. Truth is out there, guys. There's an X-Files reference for you.
Mhm. Oh,
That's
loved
going.
X Files too.
Did you? Did
Mhm.
you?
I watched it from the beginning. I think it started when I was about 13, and I watched it most of the way through. There was a few seasons there where they kind of jumped the UFO kind of thing, but it's like,
Yeah, yeah. After season 5, I just stopped because it
mhm,
was too much alien
mhm,
conspiracies. I'm like, okay, we get
mhm,
it, we get it. The government's
mhm,
hiding stuff. What else is new? But can
mhm.
we focus on the monster of the week, please, like you did in the
Mhm,
first couple of seasons? Because
mhm.
those were very, very cool to me. You
If
know.
if you haven't seen it yet, Fringe
Yeah, I've seen
is
it.
a lot like X Files. It's just I feel like the arc in it is a little bit better
I've seen it.
organized.
I haven't seen all of Fringe, unfortunately, but I have
Hmm.
seen the first. Was it 2 or 3?
Hmm.
Excuse me, 2 or 3 seasons of Fringe, and it was good for what I saw. Granted, I haven't seen it in so long. I probably have to go back
Hmm.
and
Yeah, it's a while back. Yeah.
do a rewatch. But yeah, Fringe was very reminiscent and very like an homage to X Files and things like that. And that's not a bad thing though, because people take influence or inspiration from other forms of media all the time. So nothing wrong with that. Once again, truth is out there, folks. All you gotta do is seek it out there. I want to believe, as Mulder likes to, as Mulder to say. Gee heavens. Any special memories for you from being at book signings or conventions, whether you're there as a vendor or there as an attendee?
One of my favorite things this has happened like within the past couple of years is
Mhm.
where somebody had balked out of the grave when they were a kid and then getting to see them later and just getting to meet people again after doing multiple books and which I've got stuff that's kind of all over the place, but just kind of getting to meet people and they come back and visit and let me know what they think of everything. And I think that's been some the most fun part of like doing conventions and stuff because it's about the people. It's one of those things I love writing. I love the craft of writing, but it develops into a community of people, good people around you, and that's one of the best aspects of it, I think. And
Mm,
meeting other writers and just kind of the kinship that develops from that.
definitely. Is there a convention or an event that you hope to table at one day that you haven't had the chance to yet?
Dragon Steel, I think would be really fun. That's the one that Brandon Sanderson runs.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I think it's haven't done Dragon Con yet. I've heard good about Dragon Con. And then there's a few others that we haven't done yet that are major book cons, just to kind of work our way up to kind of thing.
hmm.
My husband Cory, he does 3D printing, and so we get to tag team on that, and I think that's really fun.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, we hope you get a chance to table at those events. Yeah, Dragon Con is like 6 hotels, 60 floors, tons and tons of
Massive.
massive. You're gonna need the best walking shoes and a lot of caffeine to get around Dragon Con. And but yeah, lots of writers are there. Whether it's Bobby Nash is there, a few of the other fantasy, sci-fi, indie writers are always there. Some friends of mine who are podcasters are there roaming, around the floor and getting interviews, cutting promos, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it would be nice to go down to Hotlanta, in the middle,
Hmm.
in the middle towards the end of
Summer.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hotlanta towards the end of the summer, and go down to Dragon Con and
Mhm.
see all the crazy festivities that ensue. um, Down there, that is for certain. That is for certain. Where do you see indie writing or indie publishing going the next 5 or 10 years? Do you think it's going to continue to grow, evolve? You think it may even take over a huge piece of the market? What do you think?
My thoughts on it is it's going to be coming more of almost like shepherding your own IP and it branching into all kinds of different media is where I see a lot of it going. You got guys like Matt Dinneman with Dungeon Crawler Carl and how all of that is branched out fairly recently. Um, and then, of course, Brandon Sanderson with Kickstarter, some of the records that he was able to set for that. So a lot more customized editions, gearing stuff toward different groups of readers. because the thing that I've run into is there's so many people where it's like where they're busy with their jobs that they prefer audio just as a format because it makes their life easier, and just having as many things out available as you can to help different people just according to how they read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more people are out there, more formats that are available to audiences and all that kind of jazz. Yes, the more the merrier, as one might say. No, yeah, totally. I do see it making more of an impact and growing, continuing to evolve, I should say, moving forward. There's actually a group of people that, I'm working with, Veritas Entertainment. They're a new publisher, but, they published, Western Tales Volume 1 earlier this year, and that's where the short story that I wrote ended up being publishing. Not to make this about myself, because it's not about myself, and I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or anything like that. But Veritas Entertainment.
Look at it; it looks really cool.
Oh yeah, have you?
My uncle was a very big Western reader, so I'm like Christmas gift.
Oh, so you're gonna treat him to this? Okay, fabulous, just fabulous, because it's available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. So we have plenty of copies. Go to Amazon. There's a page linked in our description and in my social media. What do you call it? Link in bio. That's what we say. There it is. There it is. It's available. Yeah, the holiday season's around the corner, folks. So if you're thinking of something for a loved one or coworker or a neighbor, whatever, plenty of books. Never hurt anybody. Because all you got to do, Patricia, is take a look. It's in a book. See? It's see what I did there? Yeah, it's that simple. I actually met him. I met LeVar Burton one time, and
really cool.
he was very nice. He signed. He actually had this reading. I had this book since I was a little boy, and it had the insignia. It says "Reading Rainbow Book" on it. And I had him sign it, and he was happy to do it. We had a great conversation about what the book was involved in, was featured in which episode of the program. He remembered exactly what it was, where he was when they filmed it, what the books were that were featured in that particular episode about trains. Because I grew up around trains, and my family, if dads and sons, they like to introduce their boys to trains, right? It's a natural thing, and there's nothing wrong with it either. Trains are fascinating to learn about. There's a lot of history there, right? There's a lot of history. And LeVar Burton looks at me and he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember this. I was on the California Starlight when we filmed that." I'm like, "What? You remember that? That episode was like 35 years ago. What did you do?" He remembers it.
It's amazing.
Like we're yesterday. That's how good he is. That's how sharp this man's mind is, specifically LeVar Burton, in case anyone's wondering. So if you ever get a chance to see him at a convention, obviously you can talk to him about his work on TNG, because, live long and prosper. And Star Trek's been around for how long? 100 years? But sorry. And but Reading Rainbow, so you got a crossover there. You got educational programming, and then you got sci-fi with Star Trek The Next Generation, right? Nothing wrong with it. So everybody wins in that case. So who is an author, living or dead, you would love to have a conversation with?
Just because he got me back into reading sci-fi, Hugh Howey, and talking with him, because I basically watched with a lot of his stuff too, where it went from short story to novel to audio, and now Silo on Apple TV. And then he's got some stuff. I think it's his other big series is with Amblin Entertainment, Spielberg now, so we'll be seeing that in a few years.
Ooh, okay. Interesting things are afoot. There you go. There you go. What is a book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf that is not one of your own?
Princess Bride.
And
Lord of the Rings. Those two.
All three Lord of the Rings, or is it 4 or 5 if you include the Hobbit and the Silmarillion?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that makes 5, right?
That makes 5. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite Lord of the Rings movie?
I like all of them. We watch them back to back, so it's.
Yeah. Do you watch the extended cuts or the theatrical cuts?
Extended. So that's a weekend there.
I was gonna say that's a commitment right there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be careful with that kind of stuff. One does not simply watch a Lord of the Rings movie. Sorry, I just had to do it. I had to do it once, Patricia. I had to do it once.
There was something about release the Peter Jackson cut where it's in real time.
Oh, jeez. I don't know if we could do that. Can we do that? I don't think we can. No, I don't think that's in the budget. I'm sorry. I don't think it is. But Yeah, I mean, my personal favorite movie-wise, because unfortunately, I can't speak to the quality of the books because I tried long time ago when I was much younger. I tried reading Fellowship of the Ring,
Mhm.
and it just at the time it didn't do it for me. But then again, that was a long time ago. If I sit down and start reading it now that I've seen the movies, I understand the lore and the world a little bit more, maybe I'll come to appreciate it. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll get back to you. I'm thinking of buying Fellowship for argument's sake. I'm thinking of buying Fellowship of the Ring as a paperback and then just starting from there. Because I know people tell me, "Oh, The Hobbit's great. Oh, The Hobbit's great. You got to start from the very beginning. You got to start with The Hobbit." I'm like, "Yeah, but I kind of want to get into like with more of the meat of the story, more of the characters and the environments and things like that." So I may just start with Fellowship. Is that such a bad thing?
Yeah, I don't think it would be.
Okay, so there you go. But don't worry, Fellowship of the Ring is sitting in our Amazon list. Hashtag not a sponsor of this show, Patricia. I just want to let you know that. But it's sitting there, so we'll get back to you. That is for certain, for sure. Is there any particular book or story that you put together, that you wrote, that you would love to see adapted as a series or a movie? And if so, which one?
I think a superheroes duty would be really fun because there's a lot of room there for even like branching out the universe. I kind of, as far as like just the structure basis of it, I grew up watching a lot of Batman the animated series,
Yes.
and just how fleshed out they had that world, where even the villains had a lot of development done, which I think that's important too. Having the villain just as developed as any of the hero characters, because otherwise it just seems unbalanced. And
She's right, you know. She's absolutely right. Favorite Batman the Animated Series episode, or maybe a story arc that stood out to you?
ooh, a lot of those too.
Hmm.
Um, that one where Joker believed that Batman had been killed by a random guy. That one sticks out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. Did you? I mean, I'm assuming. I know this is within the same universe. Don't get me wrong. I'm assuming you enjoyed the movie Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, I watched it. I think it was. I think that was slated up to be on DVD. I think, wasn't it? Because I think I remember I've watched it several times,
There you go.
and they
Great.
did a great job with it.
Such a great story. Great
Mhm.
story. You don't see that very much anymore.
Mhm.
You know, it's a bit of a rarity. But yeah, I remember watching on VHS. I don't know if you remember VHS tapes.
Yep.
I remember watching. There's a format for you. It came in a clamshell case. You remember that? These things that would pop open. Yeah. So I remember watching that on VHS, and then I upgraded it to DVD, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this movie is so good." I mean, and even more so now as an adult, I really appreciate it. It's such a great form of storytelling, and the way they do it in 75 minutes.
Hmm.
Like that's how they did it back in the 1940s with live action movies. They would tell a great story in the span of an hour and 15 to 20 minutes, right? Nowadays, movies are what is it called? Overblown, overbloated, like
Yeah.
2.5 to 3 hours.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, why can't you just go back to what Hollywood did in the 40s
Hmm.
by telling a great story in an hour and 15 or 20 minutes, maybe even 30, right? Hour and a half. That's appropriate? We don't do that anymore. It's sad. Although
Well, it's
Casablanca was
just
an hour
like
42, but still,
yeah.
Casablanca is a perfectionist movie right there. Sorry, you were saying?
So just designing a story based on what makes sense, not on volume or how long you can make it, kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, they don't do that. Hollywood, get your blankety blank together. We'll just put it to you that way. We'll just put it to you that way. Gee whiz. My goodness. My goodness. So, let's see here. I'm trying to think. If there was a fictional universe you could live in, which fictional universe would you like to live in? This, I'm assuming it's the Star Trek universe, maybe.
That one would be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Star Trek captain?
Ooh, Cisco.
Really?
Yeah, I think that probably because DS9 was the first one that I watched all the way through.
Mm. And there's been a
And
lot of respect for that series.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen some episodes of
Mhm.
DS9 and Captain Benjamin Sisko. I like the guy.
Mhm.
I think he's good. I got to watch more of it though to fully understand because I haven't seen the entirety of the series. I apologize, but I do want to watch DS9 because people keep telling me, "Oh, it's so good! Like it outclasses so many of the others. You got to see it. You got to see it." I'm like, "Okay, all right, just chill." Like it's on my watch list. Okay, it's sitting there. It's sitting there.
And if you've never seen it, Babylon 5 is really good to watch through too. With J.
Yeah.
Michael Straczynski.
Oh yes. I've heard really good things about Babylon 5 over the years. Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. Bruce Boxleitner was on that.
Yeah, he was the
AK
captain.
AK Tron.
Sheridan. Yep.
Yeah, baby. I met Bruce several years ago, and I told him, I said, "Look, man, I got to be honest with you. I think Tron Legacy is an underrated movie. I think Tron Uprising is a very underrated animated series. If you haven't seen it yet, it's really, really good." He respected the fact that I told him that, and then he signed an 8x10 at his booth. I didn't have anything personally for him to sign at the time, or at least I didn't think I did. And I was wearing my Tron Legacy shirt in the photo. Yeah. So feel free to check that out. It's on our social media. You can find it. It was way back. When did we see him? It was the Great Philadelphia Comic Con when that was a show. Many, many years ago. I want to say it was 2018? 2017? Yeah, 2017, 2018. Yeah, I'm going to have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the two. Feel free to look at our photo albums on social media, folks. It's there. Yeah, I fight for the users. Yeah, there it is. There's the catchphrase.
Great actor. That whole series, he does a great job.
He is, isn't he? Still going too. He's still acting. Bruce. I don't think Bruce ever quit. So yeah, I got Babylon 5 is in fact on our watch list, folks. Let me put it to you this way: my watch list is like what, 600 miles long, Patricia? It's that bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I keep adding to mine, and it's like it just keeps getting more and more massive. Just there's so much good content out there. We just have to find it.
That's definitely true. Just remember one thing: the line must be drawn here, this far, no further. Anyway, sorry. Picard is my favorite captain, and Star Trek: First Contact is my favorite Star Trek movie.
Picard is awesome too.
So yeah, so there you go. Can't go wrong with Patrick Stewart. He's one of the greatest actors of all time. Seriously, engage. Well, this has been an engaging episode of And I Quote, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much, Patricia, for being here. It was great to see you, great to talk with you, find out more about your books and your stories and this wonderful world of storytelling. If someone wants to know more about you or purchase copies of your books, where can they follow you on social media?
All of my books are available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardback. I'm on Instagram at Patricia Gilliam Author, and then I still have some room on my Facebook page too. So either one of those is usually the best way to find me. And then, yeah, that's going to be probably the main ones.
Awesome sauce. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily. So stick around, Patricia. Feel free to grab some coffee and some refreshments back in our non-existent physical green room. I know I'm kind of making this up as I go, but we're doing our best to entertain because we aim to please. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Follow me across all forms of social media. Where am I pointing to? Where is it? There it is. At And I Quote Channel. Links to where you can follow Patricia and myself are located in the description down below. Also, we're on the road to 5,000. Once we do, we're going to have the live stream that will include special giveaways that you, the person who's watching or listening to this program right now, are going to be eligible to win. Also, it's the changing of the seasons around here. We have shirts, we have hoodies, we have stickers you can add to your water bottles, we have coffee mugs, and all kinds of wonderful gifts that you can get ready for the holiday season and give to your loved ones. Links are in the description down below or in our social media bios. So make sure you check those out. As Patricia was alluding to earlier, I did write a short story. It's called Wolf of the West. And it was a part of the great anthology called Western Tales Volume 1, published by Veritas Entertainment. Copies are available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. Links are in the description down below or in our social media bios, I should say. So there you go. That's what we got. But once again, thank you for joining us for this episode of And I Quote. Also, I'll make a very quick special announcement. We have now reached over 1,700 subscribers on this channel. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for your support, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments, all the wonderful pieces of feedback that you have offered to me and those who make this channel what it is. Thank you so much. We cannot do this without you. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope you will continue or join us throughout the rest of this year and into next year and beyond. We got so many wonderful shows planned for you, so many wonderful discussions we're going to be having with some great guests, And we are certainly looking forward to having Patricia back with us again here at And I Quote Channel. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of when our videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Jerusalem Series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
A mission for the police. A mysterious passenger. Mitch Mayhew is carrying more than the mail this flight. Unwanted Passenger is a roaring, prop-spinning, pulse-pounding historical thriller for fans of aerial stunts, flapper-era intrigue, and reluctant heroes with debts to pay and demons to outrun. Order your copy of Unwanted Passenger today.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.